Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 CDC Continental Cup Tour Finals Championship, live from New York City.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Woodside. I'm joined by Mr. Gary Mawson. Gary just booked his place in the 2022 Continental Cup quarterfinals. He knocked off Steve Warnock 5-3. Gary, that match seemed like it got off to a slow start. Talk us through it.
I have much respect for Steve. He's an amazing player, and I think the moment got to him, and in the end, I got it. I got it just because I persevered. I knew I could bring my game up, and I think he just had a moment, and he got excited and brought his game down. So
let's explore that a little bit. Do you chalk that up to a little bit less experience in these settings? To somebody who would allow himself to do that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's all about experience. You know, it can get to you. And I just knew that I could bring my game up. And I think he felt that he had to work harder, and he didn't have to. He was already ahead, and he didn't.
And so all you can do is play the match in front of you, which you did, and you snuck through, and that sets up now a quarterfinal tie against another player who probably definitely didn't play up to his best in his first match and said as much, David Cameron. What do you think about that match?
Dave is a very experienced player. Yes, I mean, we all go through it, and I think there will be thunder and lightning when we play. I mean, it could be the best match of the event.
All right. Well, we'll see you back this evening for the quarterfinal. Gary Mawson, thanks, and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in Woodside, New York for the Continental Cup 2022 presented by Cosmo Darts. I'm joined by the 1 seed David Cameron. David just booked his place for the quarterfinal with a 5-3 win over his buddy Ross Snook. David, that match seemed like a little bit of a struggle for you both.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we both know we can play better, and we should have done better. But you know what, as I say, we had key shots at the right time, and like I say, I had a few better key shots, which and I ended up prevailing. So yeah, I mean, it was a lucky match in my opinion, for sure. We can do better.
That eighth leg, he looked like he was going to a decider. Ross put 3 at the top of the 20 that moved the wire. Were you expecting to go to a decider there?
Honestly, you know what? I had my head down at the back, and I said, yeah, I was thinking he was going to take it out, and then he has the throw. But I said I was ready, getting myself ready for it mentally. So yeah, 100%. I mean, it is what it is. But he missed, and I didn't. So it's good.
So now you're coming through to play the winner of Gary Mawson, Steve Warnock, 2 guys you both know pretty well. Which one of those gentlemen would you prefer to face?
You know what? It doesn't matter. I just know right now at this point, my game needs to get better, and I do have a better game. And like I say, I'm going to get myself ready for it. So whoever comes through, I'll be ready for them. So they better be ready for me.
So what does that look like prep-wise after a match like that? You know you had a lot left in the tank and you didn't necessarily give it. What does it look like prep-wise to come back in a few hours for you?
It's get on the board again and do small practice sessions and try to get the mindset correct. So you want to be aggressive and say you want to get up there and you want to play well. You don't want to be laxy-daisy, so yeah. So I'm just going to focus and try and make it better for sure.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to the match tonight. David Cameron, congratulations on getting through, and we will see you in the quarterfinals.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to complete our semi-final lineup here at the 2022 CDC Continental Cup. So let's welcome our next 2 players to the hockey, the first of which is a former Continental Cup champion, a UK Open finalist, Florida's Mauler, Gary Mawson! now the number 1 seed from Nova Scotia, the reigning World Seniors Masters Champion, Excalibur, David Cameron!
Hello once again, I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for the final quarterfinal match of the 2022 CDC Continental Cup Tour Finals Championship. And I'm excited to introduce my co-commentator for this match, Mark Taggart. Mark, the 2018 Continental Cup champion, Gary Mawson, takes on the 2022 Seniors Masters champion and 3-time CDC Circuit Event champion this season, number 1 seed David Cameron. Cameron got away with his last match, only averaging 79 in his victory. He can't do that again and expect to win this one, can he?
Not against a tough opponent like Gary Mawson, I don't believe so. Yeah, we alluded to it earlier. Both of these players have gears to go up. I did commentate on Cameron's initial match against Ross Snook, and I have to say there was an opportunity there for Ross to actually punish David Cameron in that match. He should have forced it into the last leg to setter and didn't, but Cameron duly punished him and got through. But overall, I think both players will be hoping to go up a level. I think Gary, when in his first match as well, would be expecting to take it up a level now in this evening's session. So looking forward to seeing what we've got in front of these players, heavily decorated and heavily established.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary Mawson has played in every single Continental Cup since the inaugural. He's a 1-time champion, 3-time finalist.
Dave to throw first.
He would like to get there for.
Yeah, he's always thereabouts. Gary Mawson, he's a tough competitor and someone no one really likes to face, especially in these types of tournaments and these conditions.
100.
And he'll fancy his chances here against David Cameron, even though he's up against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's not going to matter to Gary. You saw him enter. He's loose.
81.
He's ready to go. He did a nice spin move there to the crowd.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't just for the crowd. He's very relaxed. I saw him in the practice room. He was singing away, and he's ready for this. He's definitely relaxed,
100.
and I think he was actually chomping at the bit to get up here and get started. Cameron opens up with back-to-back tons here in the first leg.
95.
Gary is finding a nice treble per visit to kind of stick with Dave early on in this one. You saw Dave take a little pause there to look at the score.
81.
He was just, I think he was just trying to see what where he'd be for the setup phase when he came back. And takes off the 1 to leave 220.
Smart move. It's a smart move, right?
You got to take it off at some point.
46.
A wise man once told me.
Well, Dave ahead in this one. He took away the 1 that he got rid of. But he will absolutely take 95 there.
It was interesting. In contrast, David Cameron in the practice room was a bit more sitting on his own, focusing.
You got to move. Yeah.
139.
Smart last
Dave
start. I think he was just
125.
visualizing, getting himself in the zone. And again, in his own way, I think he was ready to get up here and get started. He's just checking the score, seeing what he's got.
You got to utilize the score when you
93.
can.
Absolutely. You can always
Area
ask what
require
you've got left.
140.
Left himself 32 after 15, but Gary, a chance for the 140. He tried to go tops with the way that first start was laying, correct?
100.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't
David
look
requires
stable in that
32.
treble bed, so that was a smart approach. But
Game shot in the
David
first leg.
Cameron,
Dave Cameron.
no dramas. Pins
Second
it
leg,
first
Gary
start,
to throw first.
holds his
Game
through.
on.
The one thing in previous years that Dave Cameron has struggled with, he's always been a power scorer. That has always been true, but his checkouts, his doubles have at times let him
92.
down. This year, the reason why he is our #1 seed, the reason why he is leading the CDC this season is because he is #1 in checkout turn percentage, up at 41%.
59.
Which, when you think about that, that includes 170 finishes, 164s. Those are all added into that, and for him to be at 41%, that's impressive.
Yeah, and anything over 1 and 3
30.
is an impressive checkout, and if that's for the tour for the season, that's super, super consistent. So it's not a surprise at all that he's been so successful this year with 3 wins under his belt.
99.
2022 alone on the tour.
Gary Mawson kind of was slow moving throughout this tour season early on, but he found a little magic in weekend number 4. The runner-up in the last event of the season, losing to Jacob Taylor in that final, but it gave him a little bit momentum coming into this. I think that he's utilized that a lot.
43.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be lost on Gary as far as his participation in this and his overall experience. He understands that this is the big dance,
85.
as it were, for the CDC each year, and he wants to be here. He wants to, not only just participate, but potentially run deep and try and actually win this thing. So I'm sure he went into that last
121.
weekend up there knowing good showing, get my place, slot myself in, and he came in as the number 8 seed.
Yeah, right at the tail end of the top half of the seeding.
96.
Finds himself having to take on David Cameron, who escaped in his first round match. Gary looked a little bit more convincing getting the job done. But
95.
again,
Gary
history is
requires
history.
77.
That's going to change right now. And look at these averages so far. Have been class.
Both scoring pretty well. They haven't had too many shots at double as yet, so we'll see how those averages start to tail off
45.
Just outside there.
as we move forward. But yeah, they're definitely settled in. Gary would have preferred to hit that double, of course.
Double 12. He's not moving. Oh.
60.
Yeah, that looked like a blocker. You're absolutely right. So here's a chance for Gary Mawson that he may not necessarily thought he was going to get once Cameron had hit that treble with the first dart. But 32 nonetheless to open his account here.
Shot in the second leg.
And does so.
Mawson.
Beautiful
Third by
dart.
Dave to throw
Gary
first.
Mawson
Game on.
holds a throw so far. But this is early. Our last quarterfinal. We have 3 semifinalists already. Doug Bain.
140.
No name Doug Bain. Who would have thought? The 15 seed. A shocking semifinalist, but when you watch him play today, it's not shocking that he's in the semifinals. Average 105.
Look at this from Gary Mawson. Looking to fill up. Beautiful 180 there from Gary Mawson. Kicks off leg number 3 with a maximum. Yeah, Doug, that was a thing of beauty.
Oh, absolutely.
I asked him in the practice room, did Jim make you angry as you were warming up? He was like, no, not at all. He just was feeling it, and boy, he put on a great display.
Gary Mawson, look
Talk
at this.
about great displays.
Oh,
140.
we can throw a little boo in there, right? No. 5 darts into
5
it.
perfect darts.
Dave in weekend number 4 actually on
98.
stream got 8 into it, missing the double 12.
Smart round there in general from David Cameron to leave himself the 170.
Think of this, you go 5 perfect to start,
85.
and you might not win this
Dave
leg
require
with Dave if he takes out the
170.
big fish.
Yeah, well, that 85 leaves Mawson on 96. He is going to come back for it, but how much pressure is he going to be under?
A really
Oh,
big
wow.
amount.
Beautiful setup shot there from David Cameron.
Leaves tops when he returns, if he returns. Gary trying to shut that down with a double 18.
David Cameron can't even look, staring at the ground.
Double 9 on the outside.
Gets
Dave,
his
you require
chance
40.
to take this leg.
And there it is, tops.
Dave Cameron. 4th leg, Gary to throw first.
2 to 1.
A little sheepish. Sorry for holding my own throw there.
It was a 14 dart hole to throw.
Exactly.
You don't need to apologize for that one.
Exactly. He knows that Mawson had a chance, but absolutely no
45.
need to apologize for winning your leg. We know they don't really mean it anyway.
Oh, absolutely not. Although Dave is such a nice guy, he might. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Fierce competitor.
It's a sorry about you is kind of what it becomes.
Sorry you didn't hit it. It's just 45 here to open up this leg from Gary Mawson.
100.
It's a good last start.
Averages are locked in at 94 apiece. 3.5 legs in.
This is more of the level that we expected from both players in their first round match.
Yeah, well,
100.
this is, to me, the level that we should expect to see at least going forward if you want to win this tournament for the rest of the evening. We saw what Doug Baines put the rest of the field on notice,
140.
firing in that 105. So he's saying, all right, come and get me. And the rest have to now at least make sure that they're throwing somewhere in that ballpark.
140.
Big 140 to leave a finish. You'll have a first look at it against the throw of Gary Mawson.
Let's see what Gary can do to put that 164 under pressure, though. Looking for at least
60.
one treble. Not going to get it.
Dave, you require 164.
Leaves the 156, but that is an outside shot looking in. And speaking of outside shots looking in.
Treble 18. Not quite. Stayed there, set it up beautifully.
Gary, you
32
require 156.
after 12.
That has been the other thing that Dave Cameron has done so beautifully this entire season is his setup shots have been phenomenal.
96.
Yeah.
Dave,
And
you
that's
require
such a
32.
it's such an important part of the game. You know, we talk about the scoring for obvious reasons because they buy you opportunities. We talk about the finishing because that closes out the leg. But if you can
16.
not mess around on those setups
Gary, you
and be
require 60.
clinical, it buys you extra darts at the end of legs.
I would say it's probably one of the most underrated parts of the game.
Yeah.
But Gary got a little bit of reprieve here, can make it 2-2 scoreline.
Again, David can't look and
1
gets
key.
another bite at the cherry here.
Dave, you require
This to make it 3-1 and break the throw of Gary Mawson. It also effectively makes Gary have to break his throw twice before
Game shot in the fourth.
There
Cameron
it
gets
is.
to 6
Dave
legs.
Cameron.
So daylight
Fifth
for
leg,
David
Dave, you
Cameron.
throw first. Game on.
Big leg of darts.
And has the throw to add more daylight.
Yep. Yeah. That was a bit of a tale of what might have been. Look at this start from David Cameron.
64.
Good last start just to try and salvage the throw there.
I always say 64, 66, those are, and 62, those are decent scores if the last start is in that trip.
Oh, yeah.
20.
Yeah,
If it's
well-
the first start, it's a terrible round.
You hit forward your first two and you hit a triple 20 with the last one, you'll be like, whew, I'll take it.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just a completely
59.
different feeling mentally as you walk back from the line.
Absolutely. Great 1-1-3-4 from Mawson to start this leg, though, especially after what just happened in the leg previous. Back into the red bit. Another 180 there from Gary Mawson.
And that is the player that Gary Mawson is. He's one of those players that if he doesn't get something right the last round, instead of thinking about it and let it stew,
40.
he will try to fix that error right away in the very next leg. And you're seeing it perfectly displayed right here. Running away against the throw with this one.
There's no better medicine for losing a leg is to win the
60.
next one. Just get that leg back by whatever means necessary.
If you think about the importance of legs like this, 4-1 versus 3-2 with the throw to make it 3-3 is such a big difference.
Massive, especially in a race to 6.
Well, he has 6 from 127 if he needs it. He's probably not going to need it, though. Double 8. Oh.
111.
He'll come back.
Great leg of darts here from Gary Mawson, just when he needed it. So he's going to get 3 clear at double 8 to notch one back.
45.
And not a lot of pressure on him either.
No, this has been almost a leg off here from David Cameron by his standards.
Game shot in the fifth leg.
And what a 13
Gary
dart
Mawson.
breaker throw from Gary Mawson.
Sixth leg.
Beautiful
Gary
leg of
to
darts
throw
there
first.
from Gary.
You see the averages kind of flip. Now
Yeah.
Gary averaging 94 to Dave Cameron's 88.5.
Yeah, that was a beautiful leg of darts.
For the tour, Gary's averaging an 85.69 to Dave, right about where he has been, 88.71. But I know that has a few matches in there where Dave's averaged well over 100. He does have that game in his back pocket. He might need to start showing it quickly. Let's Gary off the hook with the 45 start.
100.
Gary will be disappointed with just a ton there from that visit. The first start was perfect. It was begging for more.
140.
We have not mentioned this yet. Dave Cameron will be making his PDC World Championship debut at the Ali Pally.
How exciting is that? Yeah, I was chatting to him about it. He's
43.
hoping to have a long December run over there in the UK. He was telling me. He's not quite sure when his first round match is going to be, but he's starting to think about
47.
the preparation for that, as he should.
Absolutely.
So.
And having success over there with the Seniors Masters Championship, he's going to be someone that everyone's going to know, especially in set play,
100.
heading into that.
Oh, yeah. He's well known through the UK with his stuff in general, playing in the BDO and other types of WDF events.
60.
But, winning that tournament absolutely helps his reputation. And, he's going to be a feared opponent in that first round when the draw's made.
Let's be honest.
70.
A few years ago, drawing one of our North American players was almost a win in the draw. Now, that is not the case. You have Danny Baggish, you have David Cameron, Leonard Gates.
138.
Yeah, we saw that tide turn. We even saw it in Madison Square Garden, how what I call our boys played against the PDC, and they put up some fantastic displays. Doug was one, Leonard was one, David was one. It was just a great showing, and it's exciting to have the PDC coming back next summer too.
Oh, I cannot wait.
56.
Cannot wait for that.
Fun times in New York City.
56 to break back again for David Cameron. And he does so. 4-2 scoreline. This is the story of
another
3 breaks
through
in a row.
Yeah. That was another great response from David after a lackluster leg, the one previously. But that was a beautiful leg of darts.
Well, here we go. 4-2 scoreline, first to 6. The winner of this will be our last semifinalist locked in to take on Alex Spellman in semifinal number 2. Our next match coming to you is semifinal number 1 that features 2 New Yorkers. One, 2 miles away is his home, and the 21-year-old birthday boy, and Joey Lenaw. I know what I did on my 21st birthday. It was not winning a whole bunch of money playing darts. I can tell you that much. He has a shot to really make this the greatest birthday gift of all time for himself.
Yeah, well, we're guaranteed to see Joey on the stream at least 2 more times with
Absolutely.
the Evolution Tour final coming up against Caden Anderson. And, of course, that semifinal that you just talked about with Doug. So,
if Joey does win that, he will have no break between the Evolution Tour final
57.
and the final of this event.
Joey's young enough where he could play till midnight back to back to back and be happy to do it.
And with his rhythm, that might actually favor him, But
58.
he still has to get past Doug Bain,
Oh,
who
yeah.
has not been a pushover to anyone today.
Like I said earlier, I think he put the bracket on notice with his display
134.
against Jim Long. It really was a thing of beauty. Great leg here from David Cameron. He's down to 124 after 12, with Gary way back there on 356.
Yeah, it's looking like Gary might have to pull off
60.
a similar feat
Dave, you require 112.
12
what
darts.
Stowe had to do.
Yeah, 12 darts without a treble here from Gary, though.
You don't see that very often.
'Cause- Definitely not. Not at this standard from any of these players.
41.
41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41. 41 Needs at least 2 trebles here, you would feel, just to try and put any pressure on the 83.
A 180 would be really nice to put some pressure on the 83. Not going to do that. And won't leave a finish. 45. You also might notice both of these players have a similar 83. Interesting thing that they do. They both are holding chalk in their dart holding hand.
So that's absolutely the mantra in Canada, the chalk and walk, where you actually mark your own score as you retrieve your darts, and they feel so comfortable with that in their hand. It actually feels like something's missing. It almost feels like a fourth dart for many of these players that they have. 40. So absolutely, it's.
And there's Tobbs, one leg away now for David Cameron. I actually asked him that specific question, David, down in the players' room, and he said he doesn't need it. It doesn't really hurt or help him, but he actually uses it now for grip more than anything. If he's feeling a little clammy, he'll just do a little dusting on his hands, and it's just right there in his hand for him to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit of a bonus that way.
Perfect first dart for what he likes. Oh, unlucky 135. And I say unlucky because I know a lot of times he's going to fill that up after the first 2.
Gary Mawson here and a must-leg win.
How about back-to-back
135? Absolutely. Great leg here from Gary so far, though. 134 followed by a 135.
And look at Excalibur.
123.
If I didn't know any better, I'd think they were teasing us. First 2 in perfectly and then slide either side of the treble. But 65. We know for sure that Gary Mawson has no room to be teasing us. No. He has to win 4 on the spin if he wants to extend his evening.
Well, that was perfect board management there for him to leave the 167.
Yeah. These players know their math. They know, again, we talked about the importance of setup shots and knowing what's there, what you can leave.
You can't hit what you don't leave.
There you go.
And look at that lead from Gary Mawson.
Beautiful darts. 36 after 12.
Well, this would be a way to win it. Not going to get it done. So Gary Mawson will come back with 36.
100.
To stay in this match and in this tournament.
This has got to go for obvious reasons. There it is.
Beautiful first start.
Really obliges.
Ninth leg, so Dave to throw first. Game on.
David Cameron will be thinking, okay, one big push. Hold my throw here. Book my place in the semis.
100.
It's a good last start. Otherwise, it gives Gary a little bit of...
Treble-less visit gives you that little bit of hope. But Gary just needs to try and replicate his scoring from the leg previous. Try and force an opening.
85.
Gary actually tends to do this a little bit. I don't know why he doesn't do it all the time, but when his back's against the wall, you'll see him really accentuate his finish of each dart. He'll follow through completely.
100.
It will fire in a little bit quicker to that board. You can see it there. He's pausing every time and holding it.
59.
There are moments in a match where he will get away from that a little bit, but when his back's against the wall, he tends to figure that part out.
I only guessing, 81. But that might be a conscious decision to sort of try and avoid tightening up, so to have the focus on those mechanics and make sure things try to stay in rhythm. It could be that's to compensate for
43.
That. Because this is a tight spot he is in, make no mistake. And 43 doesn't help his cause. It's a beautiful dart followed in with the second.
140.
Big 140 from David Cameron as he tightens the screw here on Gary Mawson.
80 away from cementing himself in the semifinals of the 2022 Continental Cup.
100.
Yeah, you see that focus. He's got 6 starts at 80 to knock out the number 8 seed. Is he going to go for it?
Oh,
75.
there was.
if I'm Gary Mawson, that's the one thing I wanted to see right there.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Did it?
Do you bust there?
Probably not, because it would have been back to 80.
Oh, that's right.
But to go outside on the 10 and just be a little bit more cautious. However, he's got time. As long as he hits the big number here, he should get another 2 match starts.
He will get 2 match starts. And only needs one of them.
Great finish there from David Cameron. Tidies up that 5 to book his place in the semi-final against Alex Spellman.
Improves his average by about 10 points per dart there, or per round there. And you can easily see that going up another 10 in the next match against Alex Spellman.
Absolutely. That was a nice, steady display for both characters. Cameron moves forward, and Gary Mawson leaves us in the quarterfinal stage.
How about this? On one half of the bracket, it is chalk as far as who has moved on, except for John Newman Jr. and Stowe Bunce. It has been the higher seeded player winning each match. We have the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. On the other side of the bracket, the opposite has really occurred. You have the 15 seed taking on the 11 seed. That's going to be fun.
We have 2 awesome semifinals ahead.
We do.
Looking forward to
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
both.
give a big round of applause for your last semifinalist.
Look at that.
Cameron!
In our first semifinal is going to be Doug Bain, the 15 seed, taking on the 11 seed. Joey Lenaw, 21 years young. He just went over across the pond and made a top 64 finish in the PDC Junior World Championships, which is incredible accomplishment. Can he accomplish the Continental Cup final?
If he keeps playing the way he's playing, depends how Doug comes out, to be honest. If Doug throws like that, Joey's going to have his work cut out. But he's more than capable. The rhythm will suit him because Doug's relatively fluid and quick as well. So that should be a bit of a pick-em match. And then Alex Spellman and Cameron, that could go either way as well. Spellman picked it up there against Stowe Bunce. A bit more of the Spellman that we know and love. And Cameron, like you said, could put another 10 on his average quite easily. So coming right up, Joey Lenaw versus Doug Bain in our first semifinal.
Yeah, we got the Juggernaut versus no name. Doug Bain is trying to make himself a name for all. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from the 2022 Continental Cup in New York City right after the break.